Now, in the song, before he talks about Rick Stain lived with his mom, writing bad checks and all that stuff, he says something about Ronald Reagan dying on toilets or something like that. I can't hear it. I can't really understand. I got to look at the lyrics. Something about Ronald Reagan died at toilets. Is what it sounds like, but I don't know. Ronald Reagan died of toilets. Is what it sounds like, but Ronald Reagan died of something. I'd have to look it up, see what Ronald Reagan died of, but then he goes to, you know, Mark Staines, lived with his mom, writing bad checks and cocaine charges, and he's drinking, smoking a pack, and then one day Mark had a heart attack because he's talking about himself, you know. He mentions his prostate, having to pee 50 times a day, and he talks about something about, feels like he's going to have a heart attack or some kind of foul thing that he's talking about, or so, I don't know, something, I wouldn't say foul, but something you don't really want to picture Mark Cassavetes dead. Well, I don't know if he's lost any weight or whatever, but also things about Mark Cassavetes, because he's watched the first half of Full Metal Jacket according to the lyrics or something, because he's got a Kubrick kick. There's things you can find out about him by listening to his lyrics, because it's almost like he's journaling and singing at the same time. He also makes fun of Daniel Johnston and Elliott Smith, so he kind of thinks highly of himself, like Paniculus. It's a character in a Greek comic thing written by Aristophanes. Yeah, he's got stuff to say. He's also worked with Cameron Crowe on a film called Almost Famous. He had that line when the pilot says, "All right, everybody, put your seatbelts on," or something like that. And he turns around and says, "That means we're going to die." But he doesn't say it in a thick accent, but they're playing like a version of Leonard Skinner. It was a band called Stillwater. He had that guy, what's his name? He's an actor. Worked with Holly Hunter in Jesus' Son. He also played the Elephant Man on Broadway. Not Mark Cassavetes, but the other guy. The guy he worked with, he was the lead guitar player in Stillwater. Huh. I can picture him, but I can't say his name for some reason. What's that guy's name? Yeah, Kudrow. Something Kudrip. Billy Kudrip. Yeah, that's his name. Billy Coldrip. Some say, I've heard Kudrow, but it's actually Billy Coldrip. Yeah, he played the lead guitar player in Stillwater. Let's see if I can get around this way. Got a moped coming at a weird speed right here. There's a guy on a bike. Never mind. Yeah, so, what was I talking about? Man, I don't even remember the point I was trying to make. Something about something, rock star or something, blah, blah, blah. Man, that car and that car, both of them, like, just got in the way, like, at the exact same moment. It's weird. Life is very strange. How things happen, you know, like his blinkers on just like right at the right moment, you know, just to lag things, you know. It's weird. Around this, yeah, I can probably spin around here, you know, because I was just about to pull into the lot, because I know that I always deliver these people. The guy got his lock from Mexico on the front gate. I've shown it a few times. You get to know things, you know. You listen, you know, you get to know things, you know, after studying. But yeah, this guy, he got one of his locks from Mexico that's on his gate. He probably wonders how I know that. But it's because I listen. I'm a real good listener. Yeah, that lock right there that's hanging on there, it's from Mexico. Alright, I gotta make some corrections. Rick Staines is the one who was writing bad checks and cocaine charges and something about stalking or something. Mark, he just says Mark something, can't really understand it. Mark is some dude that's sitting on the porch drinking a beer and smoking a pack. And then one day poor Mark had a heart attack. That's another character in it. It talks about like a few characters. I think someone named Ben or something. Also there's one called Ben's My Friend or something like that. He talks about these characters that, you know, kind of come back. A little like Lou Reed a little bit, but Lou Reed's characters, I don't know if those are real people or not. They might have been, you know. They may have been, you know. But it's interesting. So yeah, there's a character named Rick Staines. Then there's a character named Mark something. I don't know if he says his last name. He's the one that's sitting on the porch, has a heart attack. And then there's another character named Ben or something like that. But it's all in the song. So he talks about his own life. And then, you know, eventually goes back to full circle. Now he talks about the last killing and then the first killing in that order. And then he goes full circle and then talks about on the last verse, or I guess he called stanza or whatever you want to call it. He talks about Ramirez getting caught. And, you know, where he was, remembering where he was. Now, I don't remember where I was when he was caught. I didn't really, like, until I heard the song, I didn't even know he got caught, you know. And another thing is, like, I didn't know he died of natural causes. But I think he said he died at 53. And I still haven't looked up, like, the year of all this stuff. But it's been vlogged. Like, Grim Life Collective went off and did a real nice vlog covering it. They may know a little bit about him, too. Night Stalker might talk a little bit about him, but whether it's all accurate, only God knows. You know, only God knows those kinds of crimes back then. They deal with everything to the Manson murders. You know, they think they know everything, but they really don't. There was no video proof of any of that. There was only witness proof on the Manson murders. Same thing with probably, you know, Ramirez and Zodiac, but they might have it right, you know. They might have got it right, and no one really knows. But it's interesting. It's interesting to kind of analyze it and stuff. And things change over time. Like one day we might figure out who the Zodiac was, but we know that he admitted to it, and so it's a real good chance that he probably did do it. Why else would someone admit to things? But they have proof that people have tried to, like with the Zodiac and stuff, they actually have proof that there were people that falsely confessed. There was like people that lied and said that they were, because they wanted to be famous, you know. But you don't know, you know. That's kind of what the song is a little bit about, you know, fame and the fear of death. All right. Looks like we're 93 million miles from the sun. We're 200 million miles from Mars. This April, coming up here, we're going to have what's known as I believe a solar eclipse. About noon. It's going to black out. The moon's going to get right in front of the light of the sun. It's basically going to hog up all the space and block out the sun. Well, from the sunlight. The sunlight, or the sun, is 93 million miles away. So the light travels. But the moon is going to position itself just so. And now, not everyone's going to see it the same on the planet. But Texas will see a full blackout. Noontime. Sometime in April. I'm going to guess maybe like April 8th or something like that. I don't know. They have it down. And it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to see if I can get it. What I'm going to do is close my eyes and just turn on my phone. I don't know if that's good or what that does. I think it blacks it out for a moment. I think it should be okay. I don't know. You know, how these things work. You know, on the phone and stuff. Is it safe? I'll put, is it safe to film or video a solar eclipse, a full solar eclipse with a phone. All right, we're gonna head back and see Linda and Kitty. Well, according to Scott Fisher, an astronomer, he feels that the cell phone is limited in recording the solar eclipse, but it can be done. It may not show correctly on the phone, is what he said. But I don't know, you know, might show things differently or something, but apparently it's okay. You might want to wear some welder glasses or whatnot. Y'all have a good one. I'm coming back for another thing about solar eclipses. Now, my screenplay, Grace, aka Wear Vlog, which is about a werewolf and vloggers, there's an eclipse that happens in it. Kind of taking a little bit from one of my favorite fantasy kind of medieval movies called Lady Hawk with Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Matthew Broderick. Pretty good film. It's got a eclipse in that one too. Deals with a wolf and a hawk and a lady and a knight and a thief and an old man. One of my favorites, Lady Hawk. I like that, and it's sort of good. And I think they should do a remake of it. Maybe a series or something on AMC or something like that. I don't know. Or the Sci-Fi Channel. But yeah, my screenplay on Grace, aka Wear Vlog, which I ain't gonna try to attempt without funding. It's about a werewolf, an eclipse, and a she-wolf, all kinds of fun stuff. We might get to that one a little bit later. Right now, I'm gonna focus on The Circle or The Step of the Cat. So it's got a new name. The Circle or The Step of the Cat. It's kind of a noir kind of film. Kind of about a vlogger that follows a trail, a circle of thieves, or what they call a ring of thieves. It's good. I'm in the process of writing it, getting some ideas. The scene that I'm working on right now is the scene where she has kind of her exit interview after flipping around on the kitchen floor like a fish, because she's epileptic and mute, and they feel liable. It's kind of like a scene about injustice kind of thing. You know, she's got to move on, and then later she'll get on Craigslist and find this guy named Hopperhead that refurbishes phones, and he's real professional. He talks about refurbishing phones. Now, recently, the other day in the news, they just did this big bust. This lady and her husband, who they were, what they were doing was they were giving out information about what sites they could rip off and how they could rip them off and things like that. Like they were professional thieves. That's kind of what I'm writing about a little bit. But it's also about Bird and his investigation. He's a vlogger. And I'm throwing in a little bit of Blue Velvet in there, and a little touch of Christopher Nolan's The Following. A little Lynch and Nolan. Just mix a little Lynch and Nolan. Might have a halfway decent film. At least an independent film, because both of them started very independently, using independent methods and techniques and whatnot. But my character pretends like he's a big hick, but he's actually much smarter than you think. And I'll be playing kind of, I hate to call a character a villain, really, you know, because I always was taught you always play the villain as a good guy. I'm gonna stop at this shell thing. You can see it blinking for a minute. It kind of has like a noir kind of thing. All right, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Y'all have a good one. There's Kitty.
There's Kitty.
All right, Kitty, dirty shoes.
Dirty shoes. Good boy. Good man.
All right. Oh, you cutting up the chicken?
Cutting up the chicken. Hi.
All right, kitty, take 2. It's pretty good on the paw. A little bit more. Kind of look a little dangerous. One more. Just one more, kitty. Make this one count. What's going on? Do you need to go to the craft table? There he goes. That's a good one. All right, cut. We got it. Cut. All right, good job, kitty. Go a little bit more method. There you go. Okay, come on. There we go. That's good. All right, we got it, kitty. Good job. All right, take 5. That means take 5. All right, that's fine. You can take 5 there. There, we'll go get you some cat food.